should really start planning what I'm going to say well in advance of setting off for a run, because I still haven't actually decided what this video will be about. What I can tell you though is it's going to be incredibly muddy, a little bit hilly and a lot bit slow. So I've hardly done any hill running lately. It's pretty much all been road running on the same route to and from work, with the occasional extra mile, but nothing much. That's been getting me like 50 miles a week minimum, which at the moment I'm quite happy with. But being happy isn't optimal for gains. I didn't come up with that, but it is true. Simply doing 2 5-milers a day, Monday to Friday, even though it sounds like a lot for some, that isn't going to be a lot when I've got 185 miles to do at the end of August, which is going to be very hilly as well and very Welsh. Don't know what that's got to do with anything, but it's in Wales. Tell you what, that's what this video can be about. Running ultras. Well, running ultras. Which brings me up, I think, to my first point. Walk the hills. Like, practice hiking elevation if your race has got a lot of elevation in it. If you try and run the hills, you're going to blow up later on. If you hike them all and then you decide you've got energy at the end of the race to run any hills that are there, then buzz in, have at it. But even the elites don't run up them. They practice the hiking. So yeah, practice that. Here we go, here's point 2. Got to make it specific. Get used to the type of terrain you're going to be doing the race on. It's all well and good pounding pavements, but if you're running over the fells or a load of moorland or even just woodland trail, it's not the same. Ankle stability, all of that comes into play. But that doesn't mean neglect the roads, because road running, you are going to be able to run faster. You're going to be able to develop a better sort of level of fitness. Just not at the expense of I can't even say this word, but I'm going to keep trying. Specificity. Specificity. Oh, being specific. Here's the trick. Magic is about to happen. Not doing anything. So, yeah. Stay weird. Number 3. I'm not actually doing it right now, but big one. Practice your nutrition. Like in-race nutrition. You've got to get used to eating while you're moving. And I'm sorry, but I did one 100-miler off nothing but gels and energy bars, and I'm never doing that again. It's alright for like marathons, it's alright for 50Ks, but nah, not for anything bigger for me. Real food. So a favourite of mine during the big races is salted boiled potatoes, they're a good one. Bagels with peanut butter and a banana on. Although weirdly, I eat a banana and I tend to get cramp. Well odd. Maybe I've got like a potassium overload. And then other than that, for a quick hit, Tang Fastics. Honestly, That Haribo kid, I reckon he could run for days. Practice navigation, because the longer the race, obviously the further you've got to go, more chance you have of getting lost. I mean, I got lost on a 10k once and it almost turned into a half marathon, which wasn't fun. But like, getting lost on an ultra, that's soul destroying. That can ruin an entire race if you let it get to your head. Most I've ever done really getting lost was a few miles, but it's turned like 100 into like 107 or something. Like, I can handle that. But I've heard horror stories, people doing like an extra 20 miles or stuff like that. Oh, when you're already up at mad distance, that is the last thing you want to do. Point number 5. I'm going to make this my last one because I think I'm running out of light for the GoPro. But it is, take your time. Well, this is a 2-in-1. It means take your time during the actual race. Like, my first 50k I set off well fast and I blew up at mile 15, which meant it was a 50k, so that meant another 15 and a bit miles of hell. Literally the worst cramp. Still finished it, but it was my first one and I thought, how do people do this? That's silly. Which leads me into my second part of take your time. Honestly, don't dive into the biggest thing straight away. I've probably dived into too big, too fast. And what I mean is, like, I should probably still be doing 50k's, 50 milers. I should probably be gearing up to my first 100 rather than having already done a few hundreds. And I'm now like trying to do double that. Hence probably why I failed Scotland. But I made it to 185. And that's the distance of the next race. Well, the next big race, 185. So I reckon I'm good for it. And then I'll go back to the bigger one. But really, I should have been working at getting proficient at hundreds, maybe even 50s. Although now, in a weird way, I feel like 50 milers are pretty much a given for me, even when I'm like out of shape. And I'm talking about, like, obviously compared to myself, doesn't matter about anyone else. There are people much fitter than me, and obviously there's people a lot less fit. You just compare yourself to yourself. But I'm still too heavy. Weight started coming down. I'm like 86 now. That's going to be a whole new video about nutrition. But like, if you have your own standards, hold yourself to them. But there was a time where if I was this weight, I wouldn't have been able to cover 5 miles, let alone 50. So I am in a good spot for now. So yeah, there you go. There's 5 tips for ultra running. Obviously there's loads more and there's a lot more to it, but I reckon those 5 potentially cover the main bases. Obviously none of them are specifically like training related in the fact that you've just got to do big miles if you want to run big miles. Simple as that. But that shouldn't even need to be said. But unfortunately, you get people out there telling you that you can run 10k's really fast and then you'll be able to run like 100 miles. Maybe for the odd freak that can, but they're not going to have a good time. I don't care who they are. You need big miles. It's the only way there is to it.